1 in 5 people are disabled, and we all become disabled at some point in our lives. When we exclude an individual from our paths, we also exclude their friends and family. So what can you do to help make sure that our paths become more accessible to all and more people can access our beautiful landscapes? Firstly, I don't know whether I can access a path unless I have clear information on its accessibility. Using both text and images helps. Providing clearly marked blue badge spaces and information on the closest accessible public toilets and changing places, transport, and marking out any options for shorter loops will also make a real difference. When you're surveying a path, try to consider who has access and who is currently being excluded. If you haven't seen many diverse path users out on the path, chances are it's not accessible to all, or it's not promoted in the right way. Are the gates accessible to wheelchair users and parents with pushchairs, or are they too narrow? Is the latch stiff and the gate heavy, making it hard to open? Using Monmouthshire's principle of least restrictive access, can you leave a gap? A gap is less restrictive than a bollard or boulder, which is less restrictive than a gate, which is less restrictive than a stile. We need to always aim for the least restrictive option. Monmouthshire Countryside Access Team have a really useful furniture guide which explains the options available. Can an alternative route that avoids steps be created, or ramps with suitable gradients rather than steps be put in? Are there regularly spaced benches for people who need to stop and rest? If you're a volunteer surveying, please note how wide the path is, what's the gradient, is there uneven terrain, and what's the path surface? Is the path free from debris or tree roots or potholes, which may not be spotted by visually impaired people? Tarmacked or concrete paths are obviously the most accessible, but compacted stone and dirt can also be accessible. If you spot branches, twigs or loose stones, kick them away. They might be the difference between someone being able to continue on the path or having to turn back. Other things to consider are how to protect against erosion. Can you level the path? Can you put a harder surface down? Can you improve drainage? Can you widen the path or add a passing place? Wet weather can make paths inaccessible to some users. If it's been raining, I can't access many paths. Fortunately for me, there is an alternative route. Paths that are firm and even in all weathers should be the gold standard, especially since, due to climate change, we're seeing more rain. Remember, not all users are tall, and those in wheelchairs or prams are most at risk if kissing gates or sides of paths have not been cleared of brambles. Keeping a path cut through fields and meadows also enables better access to the countryside. Maintaining paths doesn't just benefit people, but it also protects biodiversity in your land, encouraging people to stick to the path. I'm really looking forward to being able to access more of our countryside when we make these small changes that invite more people to our paths. Follow the links below for more information or speak to the Monmouthshire Countryside Access Team.